Okay, so let's talk about getting into the right mentality. Believe it or not, this is actually a really important step. So up to this point, you've put in a lot of work to get Allmoxy set up and customized for you, and you're about to unleash it on your customer base. So what we've created and what you've created is about to collide with 1,000 personalities. So it's important that you have the right mindset going into this, that you have the right expectations, and that you're prepared for some of the pitfalls that we've seen so that you can avoid them. So I've made a little list of things that if you've thought about previously and are in the right frame of mind, they're not going to have an effect on you once they happen. So the first thing I want to talk about is that your site, your Allmoxy site, is not going to be perfect. When you launch, you're launching a site that is not done, and it technically never will be. You're always going to find things you want to improve, formulas that you can whittle down and make more efficient, images that you can make look better, descriptions that need work, so on and so forth. What you're launching today is what's called a minimum viable product. It's the site in its least acceptable form, and that's okay because you know you're going to continue to improve it over time. But it's important that you launch. One of the reasons it's important is because your customers are going to be some of the best judges as to what needs to happen first. The questions they ask, the things they call in for, those are the things you know you need to focus on in the next round of improvements. And frankly, without your customer input, you can only get so far on your own. Okay, the next point. There may be some double entry. Now, depending on your current systems, the ones you're going forward with, there may be a time when you want to really be cautious and put things into both systems at the same time. I'm not necessarily recommending that as a strategy, to be clear, but I've just found that some people are more comfortable that way. And so if that's something that you'd like to do, just keep in mind that it's acceptable and you just have to make adjustments for it. You might need to plan a little overtime or a few more hours here and there to accommodate for that. Next, things may get a little bit stressful. You're launching something that is going to run your business. There's a lot of moving parts. Now, we've all put a lot of work into this, but it's almost inevitable that something has been overlooked. And that's okay. It's going to happen. Your customer will call you on it. You're going to feel stressed. We're all going to jump in and get it fixed, and then it'll be over. And you could have spent the next 5 months worrying about what you forgot, or you can just jump in, have a moment of stress, and get done with it. So most of your customers are going to welcome this change. They've already been preconditioned using Amazon in their personal lives. They want to do business on the web. But guess what? Some people just love to complain. I remember when we launched the very first version of Allmoxy to our customers at our cabinet shop. It probably shouldn't have been at the time, but I was iron-fisted about it and said that we won't take any orders except online orders. No more faxes. And this was before people even really used a lot of email. One of our best customers came to us and told us that we were done doing business. They were so mad. They hadn't even seen the site. They didn't know anything about it. They just knew that it was different. And sometimes people just hate change, even if it's for the better. We started to see online orders coming in about 3 days later from that same customer. They loved the site and remained one of our best customers for many, many years. The moral to the story is that people hate change. Some people have a tendency to overreact in the moment. But that's okay. Just stay the course, give great customer service, be empathetic, but don't back down. You're implementing this because you already know it's great. You've spent the time and money to implement this because you did your research and you know it's going to be beneficial for both you and your customers. So when you have setbacks, you can apologize for those setbacks. Make sure though that you distinguish between the temporary setbacks of, for example, a part formula being wrong or a pricing formula being wrong. That's a temporary setback that can get fixed and never happen again. So distinguish between that and the innovation that you're implementing. Don't apologize for giving your customers a new way to order. Don't apologize for innovation. Apologize for temporary setbacks. I think if you go into your launch with this type of a mindset, you're going to be able to face the issues that will inevitably arrive. You'll be able to stay the course, be prepared, innovate, correct, and you'll be able to set this thing up in autopilot as a tool that just works for you all day long.